The 805 Focus is brought to you in part by Nonprofit Connect. Nonprofit Connect provides superior leadership tools and resources so nonprofit leaders and board members can make valuable decisions to move their organization forward to a sustainable and vibrant future. More information on services online at nonprofitconnect.org.
Welcome to 805 Focus. I'm Dr. Cynder Sinclair with Nonprofit Connect, and we will be bringing you the latest on your favorite nonprofits, so get ready to be inspired. Our special guest today is Ted Morton, and Ted is Executive Director of Santa Barbara Channelkeeper. Welcome, Ted.
Thank you for having me, Cynder.
Gosh, you folks are doing such important work in our community and in the neighboring communities. And so I'm hoping you'll tell us all about what you're up to these days.
Thank you, and thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, so Santa Barbara Channelkeeper has been around for over 20 years. We've been a force within the community, and our primary focus is protecting the water quality and defending the community's right for clean water, which, if we protect the water, we also are protecting important habitats, supporting wildlife populations, supporting the needs of the communities for safe drinking water, recreational purposes, and even supporting tourism.
Yeah.
So, and we work, we have a large scope of work. We work all the way up to Point Conception, all the way down to the Ventura River, and then we work from the ridges of the Santa Ynez Mountains all the way out to the northern Channel Islands.
Gosh, I had no idea.
Yes.
It was that expansive.
Yes. So our mission is to protect and restore the channel, and over our 20 years we've had some very significant results that have helped to advance clean water and habitat protections in this area.
Oh, so tell me about some of that.
So one of the key successes that we've had is leading the city of Santa Barbara to repair 34 miles of leaky sewage pipes.
Really?
So this would lead to overflows of sewage that would infiltrate people's homes and out into the streets. And so as part of the work that we were doing in advocacy and ensuring that the laws are protected, we had the city update and repair 34 miles of sewage pipe. So that's one example of the successes we've had. We also do a lot of work. We have a broad scope of work. And one of the things that we're very proud of is the education work that we do. And over our course of the history, 37,000 students from Ventura County and Santa Barbara County have participated in our in-classroom lessons and our on-the-water experiences.
Wow. So you go into classrooms at the public schools.
We do. We do. So we have a staff that will go in, and they have a curriculum that talks a lot about watersheds. And so what happens to the water? You know, the water that we use on land, it all goes down into the channel. And so it's really important to protect what we're doing in our local neighborhoods. And so we teach kids about watersheds and about the aquatic life in the channel, the importance of the channel, and trying to just impress upon them, like, we live in a very significant place. We have a lot of great wildlife and opportunities to get out into the water and to really educate them about what that is all about. So we do an in-classroom component, and then we also try to match that up with getting the kids out on the water or in the creek, doing some basic water quality monitoring, or sort of exploring sort of what do they see on the beaches and in the creeks. And then occasionally we'll take some of the kids out on kayaks or out on our boat. Channelkeeper has a 31-foot retrofitted lobster boat.
Wow.
And so we can take a few kids out at a time out into the channel, and we'll take them above a kelp forest and have divers go down with some video that is uploaded, and so the kids on the boat can sort of see what the divers are seeing, and oftentimes sort of bring up some examples of what the marine life is. And the great thing is that for many of these kids, it's the first time being on the water and really seeing their community from a different perspective. And sort of that also helps connect them to sort of their role in the community and how it fits into the channel.
That is so great. I bet those kids love that.
Yeah, they do. They have a wonderful time doing it. And it's something that we offer up, that particular program, in the summer. So if there are boys and girls clubs, or student groups that are looking, or summer camps that are looking for some activities, give us a call or contact us at sbck.org, and we're happy to try to organize these type of events for the kids in the community.
That is great. And then taking them out on the water really sort of solidifies the education then that you do in the classroom, I'll bet.
Yes, it does. It sort of like completes the picture, right?
Yes, yes.
And it gives them hands-on experience too. And I think, after the past few years of COVID and being stuck in a computer screen, it's great to sort of be able to provide those type of opportunities for the school children to really to get out and experience.
I bet the teachers love it too.
Yeah, I think they do. They appreciate it. We do have teachers that on a regular basis invite us into their classroom.
Oh, good.
Do all of the filling out the paperwork and the permission forms and all of that stuff. But we do have a set of teachers that we work closely with, and we appreciate them for giving us an opportunity to come in and talk to the kids, and I think they like it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were talking about water quality and all. So how do you have a team that goes out there and measures things, or how do you do that?
So we do some monitoring programs. We have staff, and then we do have some volunteers. And so our monitoring actually runs sort of the gamut. So one of the programs that we run is called MPA Watch, MPA, which stands for Marine Protected Areas.
Oh.
So there are several marine protected areas that have been established in the channel and along the coast. And so volunteers will sign up for some shore-based surveys. We sort of train them, and they'll go out, like at Naples is one of the sites. And so from the shoreline, they'll just survey what kind of activities are happening in the waters that are part of the marine protected area. Are people using them for surfing, or for paddle boarding, or people walking along the beach? And every now and then we'll find that there might be some activities that are not supposed to occur in these marine protected areas, but just tracking that as well. And then we do some water quality monitoring as well. We do that in creeks, and particularly creeks where we have sort of a special project that sort of accompanies it. So we do regular testing in the Ventura River, because we're working on some ways to improve the flows of the Ventura River. And then the other thing that we do, which is unique, is that we do have a citizen hotline, so that if individuals sort of see something that doesn't look right, like there's a sewage or oil, or dead wildlife, like concentrated areas of dead wildlife, we encourage citizens to contact us at our website, sbck.org, and they can go to the Take Action field, scroll down, and there's a short form to fill out. Like, I've noticed that there seems to be this, oily surface that's coming out of, in my neighborhood. And so we'll follow up, we'll sort of investigate, and, if we think it's significant, then we'll do more of our own testing, or report it to the appropriate authorities for additional testing.
You guys think of everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. So now then, I noticed on your website that you also do enforcement. Maybe you could tell us about that.
Yeah, so there are some provisions in environmental laws that allow groups like Channelkeeper to to file lawsuits to enforce, like the Clean Water Act and the Endangered Species Act. And so that's a component of the work that we do. We really, before we file lawsuits, we really try to find a solution with the polluter. But when that doesn't work, we're ready and prepared to use the courts to make sure that the water quality is good and we are controlling pollution. So that example of the sewers in the city of Santa Barbara, that was part of a legal case as well. This summer we received great news, a great court decision on fracking offshore. So this is it's very heavy intensive, trying to crack through the bottom of the seafloor. And so there was a lot of that activity. There was activity like that had been occurring, and with the local group, Environmental Defense Center, Santa Barbara Foundation, Santa Barbara Channelkeeper, and others, we filed a lawsuit to stop those practices and ensure that more science is done. So what is the real impact of those activities before they're, would they be allowed to occur again, or if they're allowed to occur again, at least have some better understanding and some safeguards in place so that we're minimizing the environmental impacts of that.
That's serious work. So do you have your own attorneys, or do you work with outside ones, or how does that work?
Yeah, we work with outside attorneys.
Okay.
And Environmental Defense Center was our attorney in that case, and we work with other attorneys on some of our other cases.
Oh, that's interesting. So that's sort of some collaboration that you're doing.
Yes.
With other organizations.
Yes, that's right. And we have we collaborated with organizations within the community. Last year, the Alisal fires, they burned down several structures, about 13 or 15 structures. And some of those areas were very close to some creeks.
Oh.
So we worked with the Bucket Brigade and Heal the Ocean and Habitat for Humanity and other organizations, just getting volunteers out to help just cordon off some of those sites to prevent, like when the rain would fall, some of that ash and that toxic material going directly into the local creeks.
That's great. So now you've mentioned volunteers a couple of times. So I would imagine if a person was listening to this and they would be interested in being a volunteer, they could get all that information on your website.
Absolutely. So yes, sbck.org. There are fields there that people can sign up for some of our activities. So there's that Marine Protected Area Watch program that I mentioned. We also have a program called the Watershed Brigade. So this is really volunteers that are helping to pick up trash, sort of help us inventory where there are trash hotspots. We've collected tons of trash, including plastics and tires and bicycles, and removed them from creeks and beaches and waterways before they get farther out into the channel. So those are opportunities for individuals to participate. And the other thing, in talking about collaboration and sort of merging our volunteers, for the last 2 springs, and we are going to work to continue doing this, we organize a cleanup of lobster traps that have washed ashore through the season. And so these are traps that become embedded in the sand and along the rocks, and they're really hard to dig out. They're very heavy.
Are they?
But we work with local commercial fishermen to sort of get them off of the beach and sort of through pulley service to get them onto boats and then bring them back to the harbor, where they can either be recycled or reused. But that is it's a really fun event. It's really hard work. But last year we had like 60 volunteers, and we removed 40 of these lobster traps and commercial fishermen and volunteers from UC Santa Barbara and from the Watershed Brigade all work together to get those off the beach and back into the recycling or for reuse by the fishermen.
What a great project.
Yeah.
And fun.
Yeah. It's fun. It's hard work.
Yeah, it's hard work. I didn't realize they were so heavy.
Yeah, but that's another opportunity. If the listeners or the watchers out there, the viewers, want to know more, just sign up for the Watershed Brigade and for the activities of that group, which includes that spring cleanup of lobster traps.
Yeah. So do you, let's say somebody signs up and they're a little nervous, like, I really believe in this cause, but I don't know that I know enough to volunteer. Do you train them?
We do, and it's, for the MPA Watch, there's a little bit of a training. It's we've been doing it virtually. We'll do it once a quarter.
Oh, okay.
And so it just sort of provides an overview of what the program is all about and sort of what are you trying to track. And then oftentimes there'll be a follow-up where we'll actually do an on-site. And it's just really sort of tracking, getting to know sort of the different types of boats and sort of like how do you actually measure where the marine protected area is to know what's in it, what activities are happening in it or are outside of it. So there's some training there, but for a lot of the volunteer work that we do, there isn't training that's required. So, anybody can, if they're interested
welcome.
in like cleaning up the local beach, that's
no training needed.
Exactly.
Gosh, and so all this important work, I bet there are people watching this that would want to make a financial donation, and I bet they could do that on your website, and it'll be tax deductible because you're a 501c3.
That is true. There are forms on our website, so you can make a donation by credit card or the mailing information as well if people want to donate by check. But we do appreciate all of the contributions that we receive from individuals. It does help us make a difference in the community.
Yeah. And so I think I saw on your website that you also do advocacy. How does that work?
We do. So we work within the government agencies to try to improve the policies for clean water and habitat protections.
Oh, okay.
So one of the things that we're currently working on and will continue working on for a while is cruise ships.
Oh, yeah.
So, after 2 years, the cruise ships have returned. And in 2022, it was the largest number of cruise ships that did arrive. So we have two components of the work that we do, but one of it is trying to work with the city and the Harbor Commission, the waterfront, to rethink the number of cruise ships that are coming into our into Santa Barbara Harbor, and sort of how does that align with the environmental priorities of the community. So that's some of the advocacy that we work on as sort of an example of that. And another example is we've partnered with the Community Environmental Council and have worked on ordinances to limit the use of plastics, like the grocery bags and the plastic forks and styrofoam takeout containers. So we've had a run of success in getting a number of the local cities to pass ordinances to limit and to replace those types of plastic with other sources.
That's great. So would you say that there are other organizations like yours, say, I don't know, down in San Diego or way up north or that sort of thing?
Excellent question. So we are one of the keeper organizations that work. There's about 10 that are keeper organizations in California, and we work closely with many of them on water quality issues that are sort of like a statewide focus. And then we're also part of a network of more than 350 keeper organizations across the globe. So there are There are keeper organizations working in Mexico and India and across the United States, all committed to protecting the water quality and aquatic habitats.
I had no idea.
Yes. So it's a great network, and
Yeah.
we're able to collaborate and to inform each other about significant events that are happening in the United States and across the globe.
Ted, you're doing amazing work, and thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing it with us.
Well, thank you for having me, Cynder. And we couldn't do it without volunteers, and we have a wonderful staff that gets to do all of that great work. But thank you for having me.
And thank you for joining us on 805 Focus, and we'll see you next time.